And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second broadcast of the night. Welcome back to the Fire Cup number 6, the playoffs. I'm, of course, your live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. We just wrapped up with the Little League Cup Grand Finals, and now the StarCraft continues, jumping into our monthly CIS Tournament. Over the past 2 days, we've been going over the group stage, Group A and Group B. We have our top 6 players advancing on to the final day of Fire Grow Cup. Here we go. We're jumping into our quarterfinals, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player with the red Terran representing 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. And he does like milking cows. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, predictions open, place your bets, get your gamba going, as you can place your bets on who you think will take the series. As a reminder, this is a best of 3, not a best of 2 like we did experience through the group stage, and not a best of 5 yet. It is going to be best of 3 quarterfinals, best of 5 semis, and best of 7 grand finals. So progressively here, the matches, the series will get longer and longer until that peak, until that finale. Now we are jumping in to the broadcast a little bit of the way through, as the main event of Little League Cup did overlap with this event. What that means is that we did miss out on the first quarterfinals. GG Machine versus Strange did already occur, did already wrap up, went all the way to the ace match, and Strange did knock GG Machine out of the tournament. GG Machine is out and Strange is in. We can go over the brackets after this series. We'll be able to catch up. Until then, we are settling in. Double gas opener out of MilkiCow. Racks into a what would be factory. Back at home, Shameless going for his own setup here. Gate into expand into Cybercore. A bit of a greedier opener here out of Shameless. Let's go. A little bit more economic out of our Protoss player. He's going to be more economic as we settle in. Now again, MilkiCow has a reputation. He does have a big reputation here for being hyper aggressive and very in your face. MilkiCow known for being not necessarily the most macro player, for being aggressive, for being cheesy, for being unorthodox, and being in your face. I'm ready. I'm excited. Show us what you got. Give us the cow, papi. Give us the milk. Oh no. Aye. Just catching up with the chat as we settle in. For now, 1-1-1 opener. Ooh, no CC. Uh-oh. No command center here from MilkiCow. I should say a delayed command center from MilkiCow, but very committed play here. Going for the faster starport, going for a very delayed expansion. So with this, we can go into faster marine production. Hellion, of course, into medevac, into drop across the map. MilkiCow is going to be moving out sooner than later. We'll soon be pushing, as I assume it's going to be a medevac. We'll see if that's the case. Meanwhile, across the map, Shameless going to be opening up into his tech of choice, Twilight Council into Blink. Hallucination moves out across the map, and it is on Shameless to scout what's going on to see the timing of the production. Here we go. As the Hallucination does zoom across the map, making his way towards the main. There's that medevac in production, and we do confirm that the starport is already done at this point. Starport is done. Marines will zone away. Marines will zone. See MilkiCow pushing out. Yeah, he's going to commit, and it's going to be on Shameless to try to slow this down, to try to be active and try to slow down the army. For now, though, he's pinned back home. Is getting up to 3 gateways. Shield battery is already done. Very safe play here by Shameless. Already ready with that shield battery. Here comes that drop. Here comes the move out. Now we'll see if MilkiCow can break through. We'll see if he can bust in. Oh, as the Hellion. Oh, he's going to take a lot of shots. Does go down. Massive pickoff. Drop into the main. Is spotted by the Hallucination. And Shameless, he spots this. He spots this. He rotates. He responds. He's here in time. And Shameless, he will shut this down. Marines head towards the middle line. They do focus on one of the Stalkers. The nice control here by Shameless does pull away in time. Oh, going for the medevac. Going for the Marines. Going for everything. One Stalker goes down. He gets one. He gets 2. Not bad. Gets 2 Stalkers and the Sentry. Oh, at the same time, probes going to be going down. The Widowmine shot went up. Oh my god. 8 probes. 9. 9 probes going down. The Widowmine scuttles away. 4 probe kills by just the Widowmine. Very nice damage. Shameless, who was distracted. I was distracted. And in the midst of all the chaos, MilkiCow, he does come out with a win. with a lot of damage. And he's not done. Here comes the second wave. Here comes the second push. This time with the Vikings. This time with tanks. Vikings do land. Vikings actually do an amazing job here DPS-wise against gateway units early on. He can pop off. As the MilkiCow rotates. Pushing in between the bases. Oh! Widowmine will not burrow in time. So nice pick off here by Shameless, slowing down the push. Does slow him down. Tank volley's going up. We go for the dive. Oh, it's going to be punished though. The tank will fall. Does get a stalk in the process. MilkiCow landing another Viking. Stutter stepping in. Another tank has arrived. It does go for another dive. And MilkiCow losing a second tank. Brutal pickoffs. Catching up more reinforcements as well. And forcing MilkiCow back home. Does force him back. And MilkiCow is also losing momentum. Momentum is gone at this point. Shameless gets away with a third base. And gets away with tech. Bay's on the way. Charge as well. Shameless looking good. And he can even go for the final attack. He will! Points are being pulled, but it's not going to be good enough. Yeah, too many stalkers. The volleys are brutal. A third tank goes down. Oh, it's going to be a one-way trip. Nice stutter stepping. As it looks like, actually, 2 stalkers will slip away, but that was still a lot of stalkers going down for Shameless. Looking at 3 stalkers for a tank, for Marines, Vikings. I mean, this is still a better trade for Shameless. Sniping 3 tanks. 3 tanks, the Medevac, the Bio Army. MilkiCow forced back home. And even though, yes, Shameless did lose a lot of stalkers in the process, he lost those 8 stalkers. He has a 3-base economy. He can afford this. He can afford to replace. He can afford to rebuild. He can sustain himself. At least somewhat. So he is able to keep up. He is going to be moving out, going for his double drop. Does sneak out. Does slip away here from Shameless. Shameless so far unawares. Getting a 4th base. Back at home, Shameless is exploded. Even moving up with the Colossus. Oh, a bit of a misrally, I think. Colossus does move out. Which means that much less for him to defend. Oh my god. Okay, Colossus does turn around. Stim is done. Stim is done. MilkiCow diving into the natural. Does unload. Army somewhat in position. Mine shots Widowmines, they do burrow. It does get 1 Widowmine. 1 Medevac even. That's MilkiCow. He's going to be cleaned up. The rest of the army does respond. At the same time, going for the 4th base. Can he force a cancel? Not enough fire. Yeah, not enough Marines here. Not enough fire to break through. And with that, Shameless, he will defend. Baits out the Widowmine. Shuts down the drop. Baits out the second. Oh, god. I tried to bait out the second Widowmine. Wasn't quite able to. Ay, ay, ay. Regardless, Shameless just getting away with a greater economy. MilkiCow going for a CC on location. A little bit of center. It's okay. We can lift. We can lift. We can land. It's going to be all fine. But MilkiCow is falling behind here. As the economy is kicking in for Shameless. He's building up a greater army. As he will maintain and even exceed in that supply lead. This army gets unscattered though. Takes down the pylon. Pylon goes down. Shameless, he responds in time. Does get supply blocked. Supply block is real. Likewise, the runway does delay the CC. Getting 4 SCV kills. Nice damage here by Shameless. Delays the expansion even further, getting another SCV. 5 SCVs going down. Can he get another? No quite. But Shameless is being active here with 3 Colossus. That's a lot of splash damage. Once again, looking for a way in. MilkiCow, he spots the army. He's trying to keep up. Jumping towards the main. Jumping towards the main base. Oh. Does unload. Going for a massive warp in, and MilkiCow is being pulled apart. Trying to respond. Pulls away a portion of his army. Takes down the warp prism. But Zealous can still trade. And the main army pushes in. The bunker's going to go down. Force fields are available. Zealous coming from behind. Yeah, and Shameless is going to be overwhelming. He's going to overwhelm the army. Nice force fields once again, just locking down those immortals. Those marauders even. Does lock them down. Third Colossus does arrive. The Vikings, though, they can shut down the Colossus. Oh my god. Just not enough support. Despite that, going for another warp, but the prison didn't go down. I just assumed it did. The prison survived. Going for the Ghost Academy. These are expensive losses, though. Shameless, he will lose every single Colossus. The Colossus count is reset. Despite that, though, still insane damage. 29 SCVs. And the Ghost Academy. Means no more Ghost production. There's just the one. MilkiCow will survive, but yeah, GG gets called. Shameless overwhelms, and Shameless takes game number 1. GG. Shameless, he takes the lead in this series here, and as a reminder, this is a best of 3. You don't have much room for error here this early on in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals. MilkiCow is up against the wall. And it was a pretty chaotic series, is what I will say. We saw MilkiCow early on, opening up with the aggression with the 1-1-1 into drop play. He did kill 9 probes, true. Did kill 9 workers. Initially, MilkiCow had a really strong start, but if you remember, he continued to rally across the map and he lost all his tanks. He threw away his tanks, he threw away tank after tank after tank. 3 tanks went down. With that, Shameless was able to counterattack, get SCV kills as well, and make up for his otherwise rough start. After losing all those probes, he made up for it. Did make up for it in the end, and with that, GG. GG well played. Shameless will take a lead in the series, and he is favored to make a deeper run as well. For those that are curious, for those that are otherwise unaware, for those that don't remember or weren't here last month, Shameless is the runner-up. He is the runner-up here of the tournament of Firegrow Cup number 5. And we expect Shameless to make another deep run here and to make it into this finals again. At least we expect that. For those that maybe are unfamiliar with the player, Shameless, of course, he did hit the pro scene at the end of 2023. At the very end of 2023, so he's a very young player, very young, very new. I think he's 17 or 18 years old, but a very young player, and he shot up the ranks real quick throughout the course of 2024. It was impressive to see him improve at the rate that he did, and we were able to chronicle that kind of rate of improvement as well. Shameless was very active in the online tournament scene, very active in our online tournaments as well. So we would cast Shameless week after week after week, and at this point, yeah, he's kind of at the top of his region. The top of his region. I mean, we still think of players like Skillus and Wayne, and even Young Yakov slightly above him, but I would only say slightly above him. Maybe more for Skillus, of course. Skills, he is one of the best players in all of Europe, but Shameless, he's climbing his way up, working his way up the ladder. As we are getting to game number 2 for the first time tonight. We did cast a best of 7 and a best of 5 earlier, but we have not casted a single game yet on Neon Violet Square. And that's where we're headed. Oh boy. The largest map in the map pool. I'm a little bit surprised that that this made it through the vetoes. Not gonna lie. I'm surprised. Here we go. So we're getting ready for that final game. Okay, we good. I was like, I'm a duck, not a cow. Get me out of the player slot. We're good. We're good to go. We're good to go. So we're getting into game 2. And on the one hand, I see a larger map like Neon Violet Square. I'm like, oh, macro, right? Where we can end up in, a 4-base economy, macro back and forth. but that's really not MilkiCow's MO. MilkiCow is, again, a very aggressive player. We expect aggressive builds. I don't expect him to open up economically and play macro on Neon Violet Square. But you know what? Maybe he defies expectations. It's possible. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the red Protoss player. Representing Team Little Fairy, it is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player representing Clan, or 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm still not 100% awake. I did try to sleep as much as I could today. True. I think I slept like 6 hours or so. Like we got some sleep. I scheduled a lot of VODs and I did a lot of editing today. Like 5 hours after the cast. But we got some sleep. But yeah, I'm not 100% there. So I don't apologize. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been misspeaking a little bit here and there. Even during the Lily Cup, cast. Still apologize, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Wake up. Here we go. As so far, double gas opener out of MilkiCow, going for a faster factory before CC, which again is what we expect. I mean, I say that it's not what we expect here on Neon Violet Square. Here we expect like CC first. We expect like the greed, gate expand. This is what I mean. Gate expand before the Cybercore here from Shameless. So more economic start once again from our Protoss player. And we expected something similar out of MilkiCow, but that is not the case. Not yet. Is he crazy enough to take the gold? No shot. I mean, maybe. Is he that crazy? I have seen a Protoss take the gold base in PvT here before. I haven't seen a Terran do it. That has not happened. Shameless is no Eva. True. He's not Eva. Ay. I was in clan? 3D clan. Oh. Yep, there we go. Speaking of aggressive builds, it is going to be a 1-1-1 out of MilkiCow, going Rax into Factor into a proxy starport. You saw this earlier today in the Clem series versus Max, but this should be a proxy starport into Medevac into drop into the main. Let's go. Going for a Hellion drop into the main base. Hyper aggression out of MilkiCow. We'll see if Shameless can keep up. You have no idea who these players are. Shameless, he's a newer player. Again, as I mentioned, he kind of like debuted end of 2023. So if you're a little bit newer to StarCraft, then you might not be familiar with Shameless. Likewise, MilkiCow is an older school player. MilkiCow, he was very active back in the COVID era of StarCraft, like 2020, 2021, 2022. I want to say that's when he was the most active. And MilkiCow did essentially pseudo-retire, as we're actually dropping in with only 2 Hellions. It's crazy. Not even waiting for the 3rd and 4th. Does dive in, heads for the mineral line. Probe's gonna get roasted, but it takes an extra volley here to kill them. Some of them do line up. 4 probe kills already, not bad. 4 up to 6. Oh, getting up to 8, soon up to 9. And 9 probes going down. Nice damage here from MilkiCow. Shouldn't be able to escape. It's gonna be a one-way trip. Does get another worker. As he is cornered, and he will be cleaned up. But again, a Stargate open out of Shameless. Likewise, Hailing reinforcements towards the natural. Getting up to 12 probes. Again, not bad. Alas, there's no lift here on those Phoenixes. They get behind the mineral line. Delaying more mining time. There's the overcharge. Oof. 1 Hailing left. And it's going to end here at 13. So technically, Shameless having a better defense than Max. Kappa. Okay. Sorry, no, unironically. Kappa. This was a different build though. Again, only moving in with 2 Hellions was crazy. Only 2. Alas, the other 2, of course, did reinforce here at the natural. It did mean that this hit faster than normal. Damage was done. And with that, MilkiCow does take a worker, or does take an economic advantage. Down in workers, but mules, they make up for that. Here we go. As from here, we have a Robo follow-up here towards, I would imagine, Safety Immortal into Colossus production. Shameless, he will gain map control with these Phoenixes. We'll see what more he can get done. As MilkiCow, the aggression does not end. Will rally across. Third CC's on the way. He's not going all in, but he is pushing nonetheless. He's hoping to catch Shameless with his pants down. Robo is done, but the Robo is late. It's a late Robo here for Shameless. MilkiCow moving out with 2 Cyclones and a Viking. Oh, he gets a lock on. Phoenix, they stick around a little bit too long. He gets 1. 1 Phoenix goes down. Main armies do clash. The lock-ons are brutal. And Shameless is in trouble. Has to pull back. Thankfully, shield battery's ready. Immortal's on the way. And Shameless, he will hold. He will hold. Hoping to catch a Cyclone. Lifts both. Oh, we'll lose a Phoenix, though. Trades 2 for 1. Did lose a Phoenix. 3 in total so far. Down to 1. MilkiCow getting out of here. Let's pull away. Does try to at least. Shameless chasing him down, catching more Marines. Does catch out the Marines. We're now pulling away, getting a 3rd base. No Bay yet, I believe, so no Colossi. Just Phoenix into Immortals. MilkiCow now taking his 3rd. And despite the aggressive start here, we're calming things down a little bit. We're settling in. I do favor MilkiCow now that he's getting his 3rd base up and running, but this is still anyone's game. Unfortunately, Shameless lost all his Phoenixes. If he still had a high Phoenix count, then he could threaten the bases and pick away at the SCVs and maybe catch a medevac and pick off a couple of straight units. But without any Phoenixes, I mean, MilkiCow is getting away with even skipping turrets. No turrets here in the bases. None at all. He gets away with it. Does get away with it, so better setup here from MilkiCow. Looking to push out. Shameless is still trying to recover. Colossus production soon on the horizon here. The Bay finally finishes. We need that Colossus. It's on the way. Colossus is on the way, but we need it here and now. Here comes the second wave from MilkiCow. This time with 3 tanks. And he's not ready. Shameless, he's not ready for this. No shield batteries, no Colossus. Does have a couple of force fields. Speaking of, does slow down the army. Tank blows going off. Vikings, they land. And he sims in. He wants the Immortals. He gets them as well. He gets 1. 1 Immortal goes down. From here, MilkiCow diving into the base, diving to the mineral line. Tanks do siege. Decent lift here, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called. MilkiCow, he breaks through, and MilkiCow, he will tap the series 1-1. GG. Shameless, he needed a little bit more time to actually get those Colossus up and running. Again, because of all the aggression early on, the Robo was delayed. Late Robo means late Bay, means late Colossus. It means there was that window. There was that timing where MilkiCow could break through, and with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. Let's go. And we'll see how this story ends. Again, Shameless, he was last month's runner-up. We expect great things out of Shameless here, but now he is forced into the ace match, and this could go either way. As a reminder, MilkiCow, he did retire. He did retire for quite some time, but MilkiCow, he came back in December. I was mentioning earlier that, again, MilkiCow, he was a more prevalent force in the scene a couple of years ago, that he stepped away, took a big break, went on hiatus, like quote-unquote retired, went on hiatus for a long time. Now he's back, and he has been regaining his skill over the past month and looking very terrifying, very strong. If you remember, MilkiCow, he was the only player to take a map off of Skilless in the group stage. It shows how threatening he can be. to take maps off of one of the best Protoss players in all of Europe. So no Protoss player is safe. Not from MilkiCow. So we'll see if Shameless can recover. That's something to bear in mind, that this is the first Firegrow Cup that Skilless is playing in. It is his first time. And he might be a Royal Rotor here. He's the one to beat. We'll get there once we get into the semis, as he was seeded directly in. For now, we have Game 3. We're going to be loading into Frostline. Let's go. Let us go. Wait, you can build on the Neoviolet squares? I believe it was right next to it. Right next to it. Not technically on it, if I'm not mistaken. But now, though, we are getting into the ace match and spawning in the right-hand corner of Frostline. We have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Little Fairy being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player representing 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. As momentum is on his side, just tied up the series. Just won the last game. We'll see if he can keep this going. We shall see. As the Rax is on the way. Double gas opener once again. We have not seen a single economic start out of MilkiCow. None at all. Of course, last game this led into a proxy starport. We'll see what it leads into this time. Here we go. As the probe does dip in. But now going to be forced back. Just getting to his racks into factory follow-up here. Now we can settle in. Now with this factory, we can head into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We can go into early Cyclones, early Drop Play, early Banshee as well. There are a lot of options here for MilkiCow. Hello, SCV. Speaking of options, the factory's almost done. Are we going for another proxy starport? I would imagine so. As the factory is a couple of seconds away from finishing, the SCV is in position. Show us the starport. Once again, setting up for a Hellion drop, I would imagine. There it is, starport's on the way. So 2 games in a row going for the proxy starport into drop into the main. Now we saw that last game this hit a lot earlier. This hit with 2 Hellions and a Reaper instead of your typical 4 Hellion drop. We'll see if Shameless can piece it all together. But now, do you have that Twilight Council in the main? With the Twilight Council behind the mineral line, Reaper dives in. Doesn't scout yet. Thankfully, it is more of a standard opener here out of Shameless. No Phoenixes. There it is. Medevac is in production. Probe gets into the main. Big scout here for Shameless. He confirms. Sees the production. Confirms there is no tech. CC is still on the way. Is that enough of a tell, though? Shameless is looking. He's looking for the starport. He's like, hold up, something's wrong. Where is your starport? It wasn't in the main base. Checks the standard location. This is a typical proxy starport location. Towards the top side. Medevac has arrived, loads up. Up, and Shameless, he scouts. He does scout, does confirm. Medevac's already under fire. Gets a couple of free shots off. At the same time, Marine goes down, and Shameless, he responds, he reacts, he rotates towards the main. Warp gate is not done, but the Stalkers are here, just in time. So a big scat at a Shameless. Up, Hellion is going up. Nice juggling here by MilkiCow. But the Hellions are being cleaned up. Oof. Getting 4 probe kills, only 4. Meanwhile, more Hellions, they rush into the natural. Up. Shield battery does help. Despite that, 6 probes. It's okay damage here out of MilkiCow, but I'm sure he was hoping for more. Remember, it was 9 probe kills last game. This time, only 6. Whew. So again, very fortunate that Shameless was able to scout earlier. If the probe didn't get into the main base, he wouldn't have known to actually check for the proxy. He wouldn't have been active, or the chances of that occurring is a little bit lower. Of him scouting. Behind this, throwing down more Raxes. Getting into his 3-1-1 setup. Tank production has begun, and I would imagine that MilkiCow is building up towards a tank push. As we do get a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Do get a pause. Taking a moment here to take in the game state itself. Again, Shameless, he is in a better position compared to what we saw last game. And this time he's going into Blink Stalkers, not into Phoenixes. So building up a more robust ground army. Into Blink Stalkers, potentially into Colossus from here. Going for the Forge instead, into +1. Interesting. Looks like he's going for more gateway-centric composition for now. Third base, of course, on the way. Hellion tries to back in. Here we go. MilkiCow is being forced back. So just waiting for his tank count to build up. Once again, we're just waiting for up to 3 tanks. He's got, I believe, 2 so far. Yeah, 2 tanks so far. Actually switching earlier on. Interesting. So cutting tank production at 2. Getting into Widow Mines instead. Shameless rotating into the main. He does see the tank. Sees the bio as well, so he shouldn't dive. Yeah, he thinks better of it. He pulls back. Shameless pulls away. Scouts the second tank and the bunker as well. Oof, Observer gets spotted. Keen eyes out of MilkiCow. Shuts down the Observer. Behind this, more gates. Again, as we mentioned before, this time Shameless is not going a Stalker into Colossus, it's going Stalker into Mass Charge Lot, into a Mass Gateway composition instead. Into delayed splash damage. Needs more time for Warpins. Here comes the move out. Does salvage that bunker. The push has begun. Shameless, he has to slow this down. Picking up Marines, Marauders, potentially the tank itself. Up! How big up? Maintains that tank. Is moving out. The boys are being pulled. We're committing to a 2-base all-in. Yeah, we do commit. It's all or nothing here for Shameless. Or for MilkiCow. Shameless as well. He has to hold on here and now. Does need to make a stand. He's getting ready for a surround. And honestly, this charge style is ideal here for this kind of position. He's ready for a full surround from the south, from the top side as well. And here we go. Does commit. Does dive in. The boys are being pulled. Decent force fields. Zells, they get on top of the fire. They get on top of the tanks. Immortal has arrived. And Shameless, he shuts this down. Cleans up the tanks. And he can just keep chasing. He can chase this down all the way. I say that Zealots, they're running out. Has to back up. Behind this, Zealot warping across the map. 22 SV kills. Can we afford to warp in across the map instead of defensively? Bold move. Is a bold move. Getting more CVs. The pylon does go down. Depowers the robo. Shameless is exposed. As he stems in, boys are being pulled. Immortal goes down. Massive pick of the mine shot. Takes out the probes. Uh-oh. The probes are going down. But there's the other warp in, and Shameless holds. He does hold. Prism has to get the hell out of there. Jump towards the third base, getting more probe kills. This is good damage, but not enough. Shameless still miles ahead. Has double the worker counts. Ooh, and kills the medevac. Full medevac goes down. MilkiCow still completely all in. Does have a larger army, true. His army is larger. Does have more to work with. No shield battery here at the third base. Shameless being active ahead of time. The boys are pulled once again. And the observer confirms. He sees the boys. And Shameless needs to be willing to just give up the third. Just give up the third base. He does not have to defend here. He can hold at the natural instead. Also is fine without his immortal. Nice force fields. Locks down the army. Marshal goes up, takes down a sentry. Sentry goes down, there's one force field left. So I'll say charge in. The immortal does arrive. Snipes the sentry, snipes the immortal. MilkiCow, he breaks through the defensive line. Again, we spoke about this. Shameless, he did not have to defend this location. Pulls away. Needs extra warp ins. He just has to apply time. Distract some of the army. Shameless, he does catch an immortal. The army is overstim. Medevacs are running out of energy here. Nice target firing though. Very nice target firing on those stalkers. Here comes another warp in. Shameless, he's barely holding on. Oh no! Jesus. Whew. So close as MilkiCow, he does back up. Shameless on 40 probes. Give us a shield battery. Oh god. Warping whatever he can. And he's got force fields, true. And here, for the third time, we pull... Hon Mono, is that you? Yo, MilkiCow. We found Hon Mono's long lost brother. He's here. We found him. He's a cow. As we pull the boys for a third time. Oh no. He's just like Hung Mono. Very nice force fields, shuts down the army. Slices him up. Buying more time. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Shameless. MilkiCow rotating. Let's rotate. Oh. So far, Shameless keeping up. Let's keep up. Does get some decent force fields. Catches a couple of Marines. And MilkiCow has to cut his heart out. He cannot fight this head on. Running out of SCVs. Does take down all the zealots. Now he can stim in. But again, he's running out of stims. His medevacs, they're tapped out. Another zealot run by. MilkiCow, he's racing back home actually. Forces turn around. They'll take out a Marine. 9 SCVs. And Shameless, he gets away with saving the third base. Now into Temple Archives. Can work towards Archons and Storm. Extra warp ins. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Shameless. MilkiCow, he picks up his main base. He lands it at the third. Let's go. Let's go. He's maintaining himself. Hey, who needs SCVs, mate? You got mules. True. Has the mules. On Mono, he's hung like Mono. Oh no. As the Archon cannon is slowly building up. I would still prefer some safety shield batteries here, not gonna lie. That'd be amazing. Storm is on the way, one Stalker goes down. Shameless getting a fourth base. Does he need a fourth? I mean, sure, why not? Why not? I mean, now that MilkiCow is actually making SCVs, I mean, it would be wise to get a fourth. As MilkiCow is getting saturated on 2 bases, you know, he's on full 2 base saturation. He's crazy. Plus mules. We have a game. Now, everything will change when Storm finishes. Like, Storm is going to be a big power spike for Shameless. Big power spike. As there are no ghosts, there's no EMPs. It's a very heavy Marine composition because, I mean, there's not really much of an economy, so it's a very cheap army. So less Marauders. So Storms are going to be that much more brutal here against MilkiCow. Shameless moving out. Oh. Taking my shots to the face. Zells, they do hit the natural. MilkiCow has limited supply. SCVs are falling. Nice counterattack here from Shameless. Doesn't have to push into this, by the way. Shameless wouldn't need to. But he wants to. Here comes the storm. Decent storm. Cashes a good portion of the army. Zelda cleaned up. Ghosts are on the way. Second storm. And I believe there's at least 2, soon to be 3 storms left. Oh, EMP goes up. Hits the main army. Ghosts, they get caught down. Oh, nice EMP though. With that, no storms left. Sorry, there's 1. There's 2. And the storms, they are good enough. They zone the other way. Massive connections here on the Marines. Bio army getting shut down. 37 SCV kills the high. The base is gonna fall. He kills the main. Kills the main base. Has nothing left. Sure, there's a couple of bio units. There's a couple of ghosts, a couple of Marines, but alas, GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shameless, he will take the series. He will advance on. But a shout to MilkiCow because that was a very tense back and forth, went all the way to the ace match, and even here in game 3, it was not the cleanest defense out of Shameless. He was barely holding on against the all-ins of MilkiCow, until of course, finally snowballing out of control towards the end with Storm. Like, Storm was that power spike that we did mention at the time, just because of the cheaper army that MilkiCow had. It was just very Marine heavy, less Ghosts, less Marauders. There was some good EMPs, don't get me wrong, some very nice EMPs, but not good enough. Not enough to catch every High Templar. And with that, GG. GG, well played. That leads us here into our next series because Shameless, he will advance on into the next round. And now we can take a moment here to have a look at the bracket to catch up on what has been going on and on what is coming up next. Here we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. Again, the group stage did conclude. We are here in the playoffs. We're here in the playoffs, and we already have our first match ahead of us. It is going to be a PvP. Strange took down GG Machine. That did occur as we were casting Clem versus Max Pack, so that did occur off stream. So apologize for that. But Strange did take down GG Machine, and that means we have Strange versus Skilless in the next round. Here we go. A Protoss is confirmed for the grand finals. Which Protoss? Yet to be determined. Skillets is the heavy favorite, but Strange is not one to be taken lightly. He's an animal. He's crazy. He's very unorthodox, very aggressive as well. If you're not too careful, he will catch you off guard. Meanwhile, Shameless just looked down MilkiCow, and we have Shameless versus Wayne as a rematch. Those were the 2 finalists, by the way, and this is also a rematch from the group stage as well. Oh boy. Here we go. Just need a moment to set up and to get things going. What I'm referring to is that Shameless and Wayne, they were last month's finalists in Fire Grid Cup number 5. In that best of 7 was a clutch back and forth between Shameless and Wayne. On top of that, if you were here for the group stage, you would know that Shameless, he had a crazy performance, and Wayne versus Shameless did go 2-0, as you can see here. 2-0 in favor of Shameless. Shameless, he had a crazy performance here in the group stage. Did barely make it out, showing just how intense the group stage was. But yeah, Shameless, he 2-0'd Wayne earlier. Can he bring him down again? Coming into a longer series, remember, best of 5. This is going to be a best of 5. I do favor Wayne here, but I mean, clearly Shameless, he has it in him to take maps and take series off of Wayne, so there's potential for an upset. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You know, Wayne and Shameless, they're going to be facing off after this series, after this PvP. So we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, we're going to be having Strange versus Skilless coming up next. See you soon. Take this moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, hydrate all of your hydras, and we'll be back soon with that Protoss versus Protoss. See you then.